Welcome to the Porsche stand at the 2014 Geneva Motor Show. I said in our sort of preview show that I wasn't sure what Porsche was going to be unveiling here. As it turns out, it's two race cars. And who better to ask about them than Mark Webber.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much.
Good.
How's life after F1? Hectic?
Yeah, good, mate. I've had a nice off season, let's say. We've been testing the new girl quite a bit, so that's been good. Yeah, but really happy with the transition across. Porsche treating me like I've been here before. It's a real family spirit inside the team, obviously with such racing heritage inside the whole company, and you know, from the board down, all the mechanics, all the guys, they just love going racing. So yeah, really looking forward to that.
And, we should probably say that you're not new to Porsche as such, because you've got a fair number of very cool Porsche road cars. Do you want to just tell us what you've got?
Yeah, I've been. When I finally got in a position where I could maybe buy myself a nice car, yeah, I started off with Porsches. So yeah, I had the 997 Turbo. I don't have that anymore, but I have the two RSs in the 997, so the GT2 and the GT3 4-litre, and yeah, I have the Turbo S at the moment, the 991. So that's an incredible car as well. Very understated, but in terms of the performance is beautiful. And you know, you can park it anywhere. It's just an everyday car. You can do a long trip, a short trip, whatever. It's very functional. It's not massively over the top, and the 911 shape is just timeless. So that's why I've always had a fascination with Porsches, because as a young lad I always had the Porsche posters in my bedroom. So yeah, and here I am driving for them. So yeah, it's really special.
Excellent. Well, onto this. How's testing been going? What are the sort of initial things? I mean, it's obviously a lot slower than F1, but
yeah. Look, it's a very complex car. I think with all top-end motorsport now, whether you talk about Formula One, whether you talk about LMP1, we're now on this very steep curve of all the hybrid technology. How you interpret the rules? Do you want a diesel? Do you want gasoline? You know, how do you? How's your philosophy to actually get the car through the 24 hours of Le Mans in terms of the efficiency of it? So Porsche have gone this route. Obviously, it's a very tiny engine.
It's a 2-litre V4 engine, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a 90-degree
yes.
V, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's quite tiny, and yeah, it's obviously very compact.
Does it sound good? I mean, I know you can't.
Yeah, it sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty good. It's not a V10, obviously, but you know, it sounds okay, I think. But again, that's how all motor racing is going now at the top end in terms of all the manufacturers. The regulations are pushing in this direction. So what's really good for Porsche is obviously a lot of the technology now will be filtering very quickly into the street cars, which is completely obvious for them. That's why they're involved. And yeah, but you know, we've been testing quite a bit in Bahrain, in Portimao. I drove there first time at night, which was good to be back in the car, and yeah, I enjoyed that. So working very close with the other teammates, and yeah, but just early days. You know, we're going to need time this year. I think you know, to take Audi on, who are very experienced in this type of racing. But the sooner we can put pressure on them, the better. That would be nice. Obviously, the mentality has to be winning in the future. But at the moment, we want to be finishing races, which is also not straightforward. Finishing and being competitive. And, yeah.
Excellent. Any sort of, I mean, obviously you've got a fair amount of history at Le Mans. You must have been fairly certain to make sure they got the aerodynamics absolutely right on this.
Yeah, I think yeah, the last time there didn't turn out too well. I think that those regulations in the late 90s, we had a lot of cars that were flying anyway, and the Mercedes did lose some cars, obviously. So it was very fortunate we all got away from there unharmed. But look, I accept that you know, motor racing is dangerous, and I don't want to go and lie under a bed. And I still enjoy my racing. The Le Mans is such a beautiful race to do. It's one of the most famous races in the world, and yeah, I very much see it as an unfinished business for myself, and obviously to add to the history that Porsche has in the future would be a big bonus for my own yeah, I suppose satisfaction of racing at this level.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's great to see you. You're clearly still very fit. You cycling lots?
Not bad. I'm not bad for an old boy, mate. I'm in reasonable shape, so yeah, a bit more time to read Evo now, but in the end, yeah, I'm enjoying a little bit more time to myself, a bit more personal life with the family, and also still obviously very committed to the Porsche program as well. Yeah.
Have they let you have a go in the RSR yet?
Not yet. We were joint testing in a few venues, and that thing never stopped. It drove around and around for like, I don't know how many hours. So yeah, obviously it's a proven winner. We've got to start to put some of this, you know, endurance and mentality into the 919, and we should be in good shape.
Thanks, Mark. Thank you very much.
Take it easy.
Yeah, no worries. So obviously we didn't get into too many specifics about the cars just then. So I thought I've got my crib sheet here. It's fairly technical things. I thought I'd give you a bit of a rundown firstly about this one. not too much changed on the 911 RSR. New front to it and rear wing. They've also optimised the front suspension, so they're saying the steering is even more precise now. The Le Mans car, as I say, it's got a 2-litre V4 engine, only revs to 9,000 RPM, so that'll be interesting to hear what that's like. It's 4-wheel drive under acceleration, so out of the corners. And if I look down here, it's saying over the 13.65 kilometre lap round Le Mans, that car has only got 4.64 litres of fuel available to it for each lap. So we work that out, it's something sort of, I think that's roughly around sort of 8 mpg that sort of equates to, so that's fairly extraordinary. The minimum weight has now gone down by 30 kilos to 870 kilos overall, and the rear tyres are now just 14 inches wide, down from 16. So we'll have to wait and see what sort of difference that makes on the actual cars themselves. Certainly June is looking very, very tasty indeed.